This is the Nightshade Cult, a podcast macabre.
We bid you welcome, enter freely and of your own will.
I'm Nick Grimm.
And I'm David Graves.
We will be your horror hosts for this dissection of Guillermo del Toro's 2025 Gothic Horror fairy tale, Frankenstein.
Good evening.
Well, this is it. This is what we've been building up to with all these bonus episodes. This is the fourth and final GDT Frankenstein.
Yeah, I would have called it a gothic drama horror.
Yo, melodrama.
Melodrama. It's like a telenovela.
Yes, that comes up in most of any interview where it's Del Toro and Oscar Isaac both. The telenovela thing comes up because that's one of the notes he gave.
Yeah, like I watched several interviews, and one interesting one that Oscar said was like, this is a very European tale. It's 200 years old, and you have you have a visionary Latino director and Latino star. So this is our cultural interpretation of that European tale. And I was like, oh, okay, now that contextualizes it a lot.
Yeah, and Jacob Elordi is he's Australian, I think, but he's from a Basque background.
Yeah.
Mia Goth is Brazilian or Brazilian English. So it is a principally Latino all cast.
Yeah.
Or the principal cast.
Yeah, this is a very interesting cast.
It is. And this is a movie that has been Del Toro say it's been in development since he was 11 years old. Like, this is the movie he's always wanted to make. But he has been trying actively to make it for at least a decade.
Yeah.
So this has been gestating for a long time. And he's gone through a lot of personal growth in the time that it's developing. And it is his focal point shifted over time from seeing himself in the monster to also seeing himself in the doctor. So it became it took on a life of its own. And he's been a Frankenstein fiend his whole life.
Yeah, like he has a whole room devoted to Frankenstein everything, which they call the living room.
Yeah,
because it's alive.
Of course, yeah.
And there's like, I saw they showed pictures that he had drawn as a young man of Frankenstein that sort of resemble this makeup treatment and all of that. Like, it comes from his youthful sketches.
Yeah, this has been his life's work. There's a line in the movie where after Victor's created the creature, and he says that when he reached the edge of the world and there was no more horizon and it felt unnatural. Yeah, and Del Toro has said that that's how he felt finishing the movie, like, because this was the thing that he has been.
It was his white whale
reaching for. Yeah, now he's caught it, like, and he has done it, and it's out there in the world, and it's like, where do you go from here when your whole career has been reaching for this one thing?
I think you just take a nice long vacation, figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any doubts that he will be back in like 2 years with something else. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, he's not someone short on ideas.
Yeah, and this movie is interesting because it was made for $120 million, but it was only screened in theaters for a small number of screens.
1,000 screens.
Yeah, it was intentionally small, so they could qualify for awards.
Yeah, and that's huge. That's a huge theatrical release for a Netflix movie.
Yes.
Because a lot of Netflix movies, they will run it at the Egyptian in LA, the theater that they own.
Yeah.
And that will be the entire theatrical release. Like Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon.
Yes.
Only played at the Egyptian.
Might as well have skipped that. It wasn't even considered for nomination.
That's true. But it's part of it is like, to get these filmmakers, they're like, we'll show it on IMAX, and
Yeah, and you can have a full red carpet event with all the people and the press, the whole deal.
Yeah, and this, I think, has been, even though the box office numbers will be low because it is a limited release, it's been very successful. Like, the showings in
they're selling out.
The showings in Portland have consistently sold out. And its run got extended because it was selling so good. So I think it'll be hard to kind of quantify the success of this because Netflix is cagey with their numbers and everything.
Yeah, they never say how well something did, but
kind of the way you know with Netflix is if there is more. You know what I mean? Like if they continue to be in the Del Toro business, then it was successful.
Yeah, this movie is really interesting because they jam together the whatever plot there was from Bride of Frankenstein, the I returned to him, and the whole deal where he with the blind guy and all of that, and so basically this is like 2 Frankenstein movies in one, maybe even 3 Frankenstein movies.
I go 4, honestly. It is the synthesis of the most iconic versions. It's Mary Shelley's novel as envisioned in Bernie Wrightson's illustrations.
Okay.
It's James Whale's Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. It's Terence Fisher's Curse of Frankenstein with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a fair amount of Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein in there, too.
Yeah, I mean, Del Toro has said that he likes that Branagh's Frankenstein.
It's got its moments. It got we did a whole podcast on that. It got away from him. It got away from Branagh, but it has its moments. I like parts of it.
Yeah, it had moments. This is a fascinating thing because we love monster movies around here, and I'm also a Del Toro fan. So it's just like this was one that I had high hopes for, but I also was apprehensive that it like, because if it sucks, well, it's a property I like and a director I like. And if it's not good, you're like, ooh, how'd you fumble it?
Yeah. I didn't, you're not alone for sure. I mean, I know some of the cultists, James was very apprehensive about this. He had told me in chat. Mm-hmm. I really didn't have any of that because you just had full faith. I have full faith because even like something like Blade 2, which is, I mean, probably the least of Del Toro's filmography, right? A work for hire Marvel gig. Yeah, sure. Even that is pretty good. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
not bad.
So like the least of his movies are still interesting to me, and the best of them are some of the best films, like period. Like Pan's Labyrinth is unimpeachable. That's a masterpiece. Yeah,
I agree, and I guess where I was sort of coming from with this is not that I thought that he would fumble it or whatnot, but that he would. I thought that he would modify it to be a Del Toro flick, not Frankenstein.
Yeah. So where do you fall on that? Do you?
Absolutely modified to be a Del Toro flick.
Yes, I was going to say.
This is not the Frankenstein I thought it would be.
It was not anyone that was expecting, and the people that I see on Tumblr and Blue Sky and Threads
Grindr
that are and Grindr. Yeah, this is lit up Grindr. Does Grindr have a chat function just to post?
You just change your bio to complain about movies.
I wonder how that would. Like, look, I'm just trying to get some action here.
But you and I both agree. If you liked that Frankenstein, swipe left.
Yeah, put that. Yeah, let us know, Cultists, how if you change your profile to be all about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, how you do on Grindr. I mean, I think you're gonna get guys. No, guys are easy. Guys are easy.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it is definitely the point I was getting to. Is it is not the ultimate faithful adaptation of the novel. It is an interpretation. And I think the people that have been vocally disappointed about it, they wanted that finally to get a big budget, faithful adaptation. And this really didn't do that. It's more of like the uber myth than it is going back to the source.
This was a treatment.
Yeah,
totally. Not an adaptation of a book.
Yeah, it's an adaptation of the myth of Frankenstein as it exists in the public consciousness.
And I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure what to expect. Yeah. once I figured out that this is not faithful, within, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
When do you, as soon as you get past the prelude, the changes become clear immediately.
Yeah.
The prelude is pretty faithful, except for, we'll talk a bunch about this. The monster sneaks onto the boat in the book.
Yes.
Where he makes quite a grand entrance on the ship and fights soldiers or sailors. Sorry, to get branches of the military, right?
They might even be Marines.
Oh, that could be. Yeah.
Soldiers on boats.
Yeah. And so there's not that much action in the book.
Yeah.
And I love a good old Frankenstein rampage. So I wasn't complaining about him like
just ripping
people's heads off and breaking backs.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for that too.
Yeah. The book could have used a little more action.
We'll send Mary Shelley some criticism.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you do? Write it on a letter and burn it over her grave.
Something like that. Yeah.
Proper Gothic spooky stuff.
Her ghost will get the complaint.
I think she talked to ghosts when she was a girl, right? She used to hang out on her mother's grave and did more than hang out there, I hear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think she'd be into it. Like, I think she was like, I'm still getting fan mail after all these years.
Yeah, she'd probably just be laughing at the other authors of her time that are nowhere but ridiculed her. And she's like, listen, bitches, here I am.
I still matter. For sure, for sure. Why don't we roll the music and get into this dissection? When the crew of an Arctic exploration vessel rescues an injured man from the ice, they are attacked by the creature that pursues him. On board the ship, first the man and then the monster tell the captain their stories.
Yeah, I like this tell a story framing device. Yeah, it's good. It's fun.
Yeah, because Frankenstein, the novel, like Bram Stoker's Dracula, is an epistolary novel. It's made up of journal entries and letters, and it's sort of you always sort of you forget this because the story just sort of you remember the story and not how it's delivered to you. But every time you go back to the book, you're like, oh, this is a sea captain reciting the stories that he was told in a letter to his sister, and within that, the monster tells the story that he read from Victor's journal inside of that. So it is like a journal within a letter, or within an oral story.
Yeah, it's deep.
Yeah.
Like peeling the onion.
Yeah, and it works as a novel, but it's complicated to adapt. And I think that this is probably the best way to do that. If you want to keep that framing device of the sea captain and Victor and the monster giving their versions of the story to him, I think it's done fairly elegantly.
Yeah, I agree. It's it was a positive to me. I liked the sea captain. I liked all the scenes there on the ice. I thought that was all really good.
Yeah, and the sea captain is a parallel to Victor, right? Because he's driven to reach the North Pole at any cost, and he is going to get his men killed in pursuit of this goal, and just wants to be the guy that did it.
Yeah,
and so it ultimately, hearing these stories is what stops him, and he's like, you know what? Let's turn around. We're going to die out here. And so it is, the sea captain is important thematically.
I agree. And there's something great about an old-timey sea captain.
Yeah. And Lars Mikkelsen,
Yeah.
Mad's slightly lesser-known brother. I like the Mikkelsens. They're not Skarsgårds, but the Mikkelsens are up there as far as Scandinavian acting families.
Yeah, so I liked that this was, I liked the book.
Yeah.
I played in a band called Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
I've taught this book a number of times, and I like the material. I love Gothic horror in general. It's probably my favorite genre of horror. But this was fairy tale horror.
Yes, it is absolutely a fairy tale. And in the way that almost every Del Toro movie is a fairy tale. It's always sort of heightened reality. Victor sort of lays that out when he starts telling the story to the captain. Most of what I tell you is fact. Some of it is not, but all of it is true. Yeah. And that's a very sort of fairy tale way to start your story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really, I mean, man, Oscar Isaac's delivery of those lines, he does it seriously, and even though it's kind of nonsensical, it's really good.
Yeah. He's perfect. I think perfect casting for that sort of over the top Gothic melodrama.
Like a whimsical,
Yeah, and it's I mean, I'm going to have a lot of nice things to say, but that his delivery and his the way he does everything, because the Victor we meet at the beginning is not at all the Victor that we encounter when he starts telling the story. Yeah.
The Victor in the beginning within the framing device,
yes, is like a dying man. Like this is a man who's been laid low and his vanity has consumed him. And then we jump to him as a shy child.
Yeah.
And then as sort of an arrogant young prick when his days in Edinburgh.
Yeah, they really lingered on the shy child stuff a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that was required for the Frankenstein story. Because it didn't really have to do with, I mean, we care about the modern Prometheus. We don't care about the mad doctor as much as the monster.
Yeah.
And it felt like they spent equal time or more time on adult Victor than they did on the monster. And then they spent as much on child Victor as they did on the monster. Yeah,
and kind of how did Victor get this way? Sort of like what about his upbringing made him into this mad scientist character?
Yeah,
and that is, I mean, you talk about how immediately you're like, oh, this isn't going to follow the book. That's almost all an invention. None of that stuff is really in the book, as I recall, and that is where I feel like it hews the most closely to the Branagh version.
Yes,
where it makes the death of his mother so key in what's driving him, which that, as I recall, is not a big focus in the book, if at all.
Yeah, it's really interesting how Del Toro really held to that Branagh vibe of, I'm an ultra rich nobleman guy. Like, I realize he's the son of a baron, but like, even in the older, like the whale Frankenstein, it's just, he's like the scion of like a dying broke ass house and whatnot. Not like mega rich stir with like butlers everywhere and all this stuff. It's definitely a way more high fashion, high Gothic, super fancy later period style Frankenstein.
Yeah, and it the other movie that I see kind of referenced there in that segment is Coppola's Dracula, because it's impossible to see the Baroness Frankenstein and her flowing red gown and not think of Lucy Westenra when she goes out and does it with the werewolf Dracula out in the cemetery. Like it's shot very similarly, and so it is at least aesthetically very much in debt to those 90s adaptations.
Yeah, those 90s movies are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat next to Del Toro at a restaurant in Portland a few years back. I think I told you about that. Yeah, and seeing him on the interviews and stuff, and it's like, yeah, this guy, he's not that much older than we are, you know?
No, maybe 10 years.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, And you just kind of gave him the nod. That's the cool thing.
As we were getting up and leaving, I didn't bother him during his meal. When we were getting up and leaving, I smiled and nodded at him like, hey, I know you. I like you.
Yeah.
He smiled and nodded back with a small lift of his hand with like a 2-finger wave, and that was the whole deal.
That is the cool way to handle it. I'll give you that.
He was eating. I didn't want to bother him.
Yeah, and no one wants to be bothered, and it is very rude to interrupt celebrities when they're eating and stuff. Although I have now watching a bunch of interviews with him, he's not one of these guys that doesn't enjoy being praised.
Yeah, he seems to be like all about the social interaction.
He likes the attaboy, just like the monster is just dying for Grandpa to pat him on the head.
Oh yeah, he loves that Grandpa.
Yeah, GDT I think likes that head pat, and to be told, I get it, I get your movies. Like I get. Pacific Rim is not just about punching monsters.
Oh man, but it's also punching monsters.
But it's about robots punching monsters, but it is about the power of love. And I get it. Yes. So yeah, I don't know. I hope to run into him someday.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I wonder if he does conventions and stuff. He seems pretty big name for that. He doesn't need to do that.
But he's around. You know what I mean? Like because I know he
doesn't like hide.
He comes here to Portland or the Portland area because Leica Studios, big stop motion animation studio, is here. Probably he was working on Pinocchio.
Yeah, I would assume that's the right time frame.
Yeah, is why he was here, which that's a masterpiece as well.
I've never seen it because I don't like kids movies.
It's a very dark children's movie. It's like animated Pan's Labyrinth as far as like in darkness.
Pan's Labyrinth is great, but we've kind of covered that.
Yes, it's fucking impeccable.
So I mean,
written and directed by Guillermo del Toro. Did we mention this yet?
Yeah,
that he's the writer and director. Visionary auteur behind this,
and this has all the same themes that we're used to in this. You know, humanity versus a literal monster, whereas the real monster is within the man.
Oh yeah,
this is the classic Frankenstein tropes, but we add in a lot heavier hand with the catharsis of forgiveness.
Yeah. Okay, so what'd you think about that? Because that was a major change to the book that we have at the end of the story when the monster tells his version of the tale. Yeah. In the book, Victor just croaks. And the monster cries over him, and the captain is like, "Why are you crying?" And he's like, "Because he was my father." And the monster carries him off the ship and goes to build a funeral pyre and throw himself on top of it in Gothic fashion.
Yes.
Whereas this ends, they have a reconciliation, and Victor forgives or begs his forgiveness and asks him to forgive himself and to go out and live. And so instead of going out to a funeral pyre, the creature goes out and does his Chris Cornell Jesus Christ pose in front of the sun and is born anew thematically.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
I just want to... I see sequel.
You see sequel? Yeah. Where he goes and fights Nosferatu?
Yeah. Or Nazis, like, because he's immortal.
Yeah.
Like Frankenstein killing Nazis. That'd be dope.
Yeah. So first up, Bill Skarsgård Nosferatu.
Oh yeah,
you know we
get some Count Orlok, some sick mustache action.
Yeah, have them fight, and then then after that he can fight Nazis because it'll be a number of years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is a franchise, baby. Netflix has got gold here.
And just like the old Universal movies where you recycle actors, you can have Christoph Waltz come back as a Nazi.
Oh yeah,
like he does that so well.
Yeah, he like and be the Nazi from Inglourious Basterds.
Oh, the same Nazi. Yeah, that would be amazing. We tie this
into the Tarantino cinematic universe.
I mean,
we should stop giving away these ideas. These are all gold.
I liked the end. I liked how it was not. I always thought it was lame that the monster would throw himself on the pyre of his tormentor.
It's very goth, though.
Yeah.
It's very like, woe is me, and like.
I like this better. Go live. Be a person.
It is like, well, that is the difference between a later middle-aged man making something and Shelley famously was 18-year-old when she wrote it, and it's such a teenage novel in its drama and its tragedy and everything. And this is a grown man who's had kids that are now grown.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's someone that's had so much more life experience, and something that's come up in multiple interviews that I've listened to with Del Toro is where he talks about there's a time when your son will come to you, not us because we don't have kids, but for people that have kids, your son will come to you and tell you what it was like to be your son, and if you accept and listen to what they're saying, then there'll be tremendous healing.
Yeah.
And if you don't listen to it and accept that you were an asshole, then there can't be any healing.
That's true.
And so Del Toro said he for so long thought of himself as the son whose father was shitty to him that he didn't realize that he had become the father at some point.
Yeah.
Like it just happened, and then you're like, your mental image is still of yourself as the son who's been wronged, and then you're like, oh, but then I've done this in some way. I've done this to my
now
son.
I'm that guy.
Now I'm that guy being a dick to my kid. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it's interesting to get this movie where he's at this stage in his life, because it's a very different ending than I think we would have gotten 10 years ago, or certainly 20 years ago, when probably the monster would have been very less inclined to forgive his father, probably.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked how this movie was heavy on forgiveness. I liked how the old man basically, told him you need to forgive.
Yeah.
He learned that lesson.
The old man is key, I think, to all of these stories. All the best versions of Frankenstein. It's the thing that makes Bride of Frankenstein essential to the two whale movies, because it has that segment in it, and the first movie doesn't have it. And it's like it's when the movie kind of slows way the heck down for a long period of time, but it's so important to the creature. It's where the creature becomes human, basically.
But yeah, he evolves, he grows up. Yeah, so I think those are really great core themes.
Yeah.
And I mean, this movie was heavily focused on emotion. It was about the emotions of Frankenstein, the emotion of the monster.
Yeah.
This was a telenovela.
Oh, for sure. But it has there's political themes. It certainly has something to say about the military industrial complex.
Yes, indeed.
And how the military industrial complex is at the root of so much funding mad scientists in this case, but like that money that comes from war profiteering goes into the pocket of these tech billionaires, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's much more concerned than any version of this story that I've ever seen with where the money comes from, and what that money means, like what you are like. Victor is literally like picking corpses off the battlefield. Like he's like like a carrion bird out there.
There's this. His research is fueled by arms dealing money, and the bodies he takes are dead soldiers.
Yeah, or hanged men, right?
Or hanged men,
like the prison industrial complex as well. Like it's all of this is made possible by this sort of corruption of capitalism.
Yeah, I like it. I think the themes and whatnot are really strong. I mean, that's always a Del Toro strength.
Yeah, and it's also very Catholic. The Catholic imagery, like we see the creature is put up on a cross when he is brought to life. He has a pierced side when Elizabeth sees him down in the dungeon. He's got the pierced side like Jesus. Because Del Toro said many times in his interviews that he sees the Frankenstein's monster as a messianic figure.
Yeah, which I think is a little strange, but I get it.
Yeah, I think you have to be a very certain kind of person to feel that way.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch in my brain, but whatever. That's okay.
But you didn't, I don't think you didn't grow up with religion in the same way that he did.
No, absolutely not.
Your dad was more of like, the woods are our church.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing.
But also Jesus is pretty important, but not dogmatic.
Yeah. Whereas, like, I think if you grew up, I didn't grow up Catholic, but I definitely grew up with the religious iconography around me and in churches. I kind of get that a little bit more, I think, because of that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So you want to move on to visuals?
Yeah, we're kind of getting that direction.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to see in this movie, like any Del Toro flick.
Yeah. The Del Toro's crew of people, and I'll just run through: cinematography by Dan Louston, production design by Tamara Deverell, costume design by Kate Hawley, and creature design by Mike Hill. All of these people are veterans of 2 or more Del Toro projects before this. It's kind of his dream team. And I'm sure if you've been watching any of the like documentaries and interviews on YouTube,
for sure,
they're all working very closely together. In like the different departments are all intertwined and collaborating.
Yeah,
it's not like, oh, that's costume, that's not set design, and that's makeup.
It's all one thing. There's a unified look and style.
Yeah. And it is, I mean, it's instantly recognizable. If you saw Crimson Peak, if you saw The Shape of Water, this is clearly made by the same people, same director. The aesthetic is the same across the board.
Yeah, I agree. It also looks like Bram Stoker's Dracula. It has that vibes to it, appearance wise.
I think it was Tamara Deverell. And Kate Hawley both had like big vision boards I saw in some of the documentaries. And I'm sure if we went and looked through all the pictures, there's pictures from Bram Stoker's Dracula and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein up there. There must be.
Yeah.
That had to be in the stew that was going into this. The color story in this is very specific in the different chapters of the story. You have different color palettes. Like the prelude at the beginning, it's all blues and golds and whites. And then when we go into Victor's childhood, it's black, white, and red. Like everything is kind of those 3 colors. And then that palette expands as you get into into the adult Victor's life. Like Elizabeth comes in and she brings in green and blue with her, these sort of like life colors, the colors of nature. Yeah. But Victor keeps the red gloves, like his hands are always dipped in blood, but it also ties him back to his mother, who was always shown dressed in red. Yeah.
It was just very well thought out and visually stunning, just from a broad sense, like the production design, the costume design. It was all very well thought out, and it all looked really good.
Yeah.
I will say, though, since this is visuals, there was one thing that was absolutely booty or buns, as some young kids I know would say.
Yeah.
The CG rats and wolves. Straight up buns.
The wolf is a really interesting one because they're mocap real wolves.
Okay.
And I saw the side by side of the wolves with the stuntman, and then the finished sequence as it is.
Yeah.
And the wolves are cartoonish. Like, I mean,
absolutely.
That's sort of the thing that I thought, that the wolves and the rats or the mice had almost like this is what makes it a fairy tale, because they have almost a Disney vibe to
exactly, yeah. It didn't feel like a horror movie wolf or a horror movie rodent.
Yeah.
These weren't like Dracula rats.
No, they weren't like Dracula. They were like Snow White rats.
Yes,
they were
much,
totally like Snow White rats. The wolves, I mean, and that is jarring. You're onto something, because it's jarring when you rip the head off of a Snow White wolf. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like the wolves are sort of almost cute in their cartoonishness, and when it goes savage and they're like ripping the guts out of sheep, or when the monster is like breaking their jaws and their backs and stuff, it's like, it's a little I don't know, just
it was jarring for sure.
Jarring.
And I didn't like how it felt like they popped off the screen like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah. They didn't blend.
They didn't blend. That is a good way to say. I would totally agree with that.
And so I was just like, I was taken out of it. I was like, what? Those are little like Cinderella mice. They're gonna like sew him up a new outfit.
Yeah. That would be really fun. Well, I mean, that's the sort of thing that happens when you're the spirit of the forest, man. Like, mice make you
he's not the spirit of the forest. He's a monster. He's a golem.
He's both. You can be both. But yeah, no, and I was really surprised because the wolves looked so kind of out of sync and computer generated, that they were mocap of actual wolves or wolf dogs. That's what you use in these things. Kind of surprised me, because I was thinking they looked so artificial, and then like you see the source material, and you're like, they had real wolves like chewing on a stuntman, like, and this is how they interpreted that. Like, I don't know if that's a budget or if it's a stylistic choice that's being made.
It had to have been style. They had enough money.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the wolves and animals in Red Dead Redemption 2 look a lot better than the animals in this.
Yeah. Shouts to that scary ass cougar.
Yeah, it'll kill you.
When the sound of a cougar growling and I don't know where it is. Chills. That freaks me out. But that was one of the rare instances in the movie, because it's such a practical film where they built sets, or like when they blow up the tower, it's a model. It's not a CG tower getting blown up. They built the ship, full size ship on a gimbal so it can rock back and forth.
That's cool.
So it is one of those things, and I'll shout out Cultist James, because this is what he one of his concerns before the movie even came out was that when so much stuff is done practically, that the CG effects stick out like a sore thumb because everything else is real.
Yeah, it's like everything's real. This looks amazing. And then
cartoon wolf.
Fake.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that.
Those are glaring sores on this movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can't argue with it. I would love to be like, actually, but
actually, that was intentional. It was meant to evoke whimsy.
Yeah, no. The wolves in particular felt completely out of sync with everything else.
Yeah,
and I thought a little bit about. I always sort of, when I find out about a director abusing animals for the movie, like Herzog with the rats and Nosferatu, it always bothers me when I'm watching it. But also, those rats look real because they used real rats, and I would have liked to have seen the wolves that they did the mocap from actually see those wolves photographed.
Yeah.
Rather than see their digital doubles.
Oof, you mean their cartoon doubles.
They're Disney double.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. That was the worst part of the look of the visuals. But otherwise, I mean, I loved his version of what was it, like Minas Tirith or whatever.
The tower?
It was that thing was cool. I mean, it was totally like this ridiculous Carpathian water tower thing that was just utterly like, it was fantasy. It was. It did not evoke reality.
It doesn't, but it also is very based in reality because so part of the iconography of Frankenstein for all these movies is always the tower, right? His laboratory is in this tower that's away from the mansion. Until Son of Frankenstein, when the two are connected by secret tunnels, but. So in their research, they found the sort of, in that time period, what sort of structure would you build a big stone tower like that? And it's water towers. That was a real thing because you have cisterns and then gravity moves the water.
Yeah, but they weren't castles.
No, they weren't castles. And it is not a castle.
It's a castle.
It's castle-like.
It's castle adjacent.
It's castle adjacent. Yeah, and I mean, I would think it would be closer to a river or something than
rather on the top of a hill,
of a cliff overlooking the sea. Yeah, the placement seemed odd
because you don't want that seawater.
No, well, it's too high to get seawater in it. I mean, it must collect rainwater, right? Like that's.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
That has to be the idea, but it vents out into the sea. It doesn't vent out into aqueducts that take water to the town. It doesn't make.
It's illogical.
It's also an abandoned project. That sort of. It was something that they built this thing and then ran out of money or something like that.
It's like, well, we thought it would look really cool here, but then it actually was useless.
You're right. It's actually turns out very far from the city and hard to get water there. We were going to have to make miles of aqueducts. Yeah, and that
we were better off time traveling and getting Romans who are experts at water moving
than building them. Yeah, and then the Crimean War kicked off, and and the money went elsewhere. So whatever, mad scientist needs his tower, and it looks incredible, and it's got a big scary Medusa face in it.
Yeah, I did like that.
Yeah. Kate Hawley's costumes.
Yeah, they're really good.
Just like sumptuous. The clothes in this are crazy. All of Mia Goth's as Elizabeth, all of her costumes are fucking bonkers. They're so good.
Yeah, so it's a 2.5 hour flick. And I was like, what could they have trimmed to make this like not 2 movies?
Yeah.
And I think Mia Goth did a great job both as his mother and his future sister-in-law, but her entire C plot was deletable.
Yeah.
The performance was great, but as far as the writing goes, her plot furthered nothing. It didn't contribute to the main plot, which means it was poorly done. A side plot has to contribute to the main plot, or it either positively or negatively, like antagonistically or not. But this one did nothing. It just existed.
Right. It's just there because the character is part of the iconography.
Yeah.
And you need the bride. You need these certain moments to exist, and so she has to be there. The thing is, in the novel, she's underdeveloped.
Yeah. Because overdeveloping her was pointless.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
If it doesn't serve the story, you have to cut it. You have to the old kill your babies idea. This baby should have been killed.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I have a hard time arguing with what you're saying, but
or further develop it to where she somehow contributes to the plot more.
I would think. I mean, to me, if there's a deletable, and these things are more storytelling than visuals.
That's true.
Yeah, but this is a fluid discussion.
Yeah, this is just whatever it is.
Heinrich Harlander is the deletable character, because William has been upgraded to kind of take the role that Henry takes in the book, right? Because William is just in the book is just a 5-year-old kid, and he doesn't have any story. William becomes the best friend character for Victor in place of Henry, and Henry becomes the finance guy who has a subplot about being a syphilitic and wanting to have his brain put into the monster.
Yeah.
And that to me is totally deletable. It did not add anything to the story.
I would put it one way or the other. I would say either delete the Heinrich character completely and have his brother fund it, and have the brother have used the family's fortune to get into arms dealing and all of that while Victor's off at medical school.
Yeah.
And have him take that, or cut the brother, cut the sister-in-law, and have the whole Heinrich funds this. His motivation isn't brotherhood. His motivation is saving his life because he has syphilis. One or the other, both irrelevant.
Yeah.
We just don't need it.
Because I do feel like I had this... I love Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
And he's incredible in this role. And it's one of those things, like, it sort of reminds me of, as we're talking about it, some of the Star Wars movies when they get into the politics of the universe and the trade blockades and taxation and all of that stuff, where, like, I go, oh, this is really interesting. That Lucas is very concerned with where the money comes from in this universe. And so, like, I do find that stuff interesting, but, you know, if you're trying to get 20 minutes out of this and get it down to a 2-hour movie, what does it have to do? When he falls and goes splat, that's the end of that plot. It no longer matters. We
get no more of it. Like
and there's no repercussions because Victor just goes, the monster did it, and everyone's like, well, yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah,
that's
and the brother lies and says it was an unfortunate accident, and
he moves forward. Yeah. All of that's everything, but the arson was an unfortunate accident. You know, that's fair. That's totally fair as what you could trim out of this.
There's a lot of fat that could have been trimmed from this movie.
Yeah,
especially the childhood scenes, the excess sister-in-law, the perhaps inflated financier or brother roles.
Yeah,
basically, like, we got a lot of underdeveloped shit. Either develop it or cut it. You got to go one way or the other.
So, like, what does the syphilis story add to this?
It adds it adds body horror. It adds the idea, the psychological horror and motivation to pursue body horror transformation for oneself. Whereas the brother has no motivation other than brotherhood, and that's not interesting. Yeah. That's not very Gothic horror.
He's involved in this because he loves his brother and he's marrying this guy's niece.
Yeah, I would much rather have more body horror.
Interesting.
In a horror movie.
You beef up Harlander and downplay the brother, sister-in-law whole thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. I mean, I think it's a wise...
Or let's go crazy. Sister-in-law is syphilitic, and she's the one pushing the brother to have the brother, or, you know, her fiancé.
Yeah.
That's how she actually even chose the fiancé, because she knew the brother was doing this stuff. You could make it insidious and make that character truly matter. Like, she's masterminding getting herself a new body.
Yeah.
And she maybe even is like, make a woman body. You could have done something, right? It would have been cooler.
That is, I find that to be a very intriguing storyline, but it is wildly astray from this, where this is.
Oh yeah, but we already threw the book in a fire.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I think it's mostly burned.
I think
there's some pages left.
I think this book or this movie is filled with references to Mary Shelley and homages to her all through. Even just like where she lived in London. She lived near like the abattoirs and where the public gallows were, and then like that stuff features into it. Her mother died in childbirth. Like all of this stuff is taken from Shelley. It's
an homage to Shelley, but it's not really faithful to the book that she wrote.
Yeah,
it's more like this is a tribute movie, not an adaptation.
That's true. I would totally. This is a tribute to Mary Shelley.
Yeah, this isn't the best Gothic horror movie in the world. This is just a tribute.
That's a little long for an episode title, but it might. it might work. Yeah, interesting.
Hey, I don't hate this movie. I actually find the nuance of all of this to be really interesting to talk about because I love Frankenstein. I love Gothic horror. I love Del Toro. And I feel like there's just so much here.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like the artistic vision of the writing, the visuals of this movie, because we're sort of in the visual section.
Yeah.
The visuals of this movie are unimpeachable.
Yeah.
The only impeachable things in this movie are the writing. Everything else and the VFX.
Yeah.
That's a hard no.
Yeah.
But everything else, because it's not faithful, and the moment it's not faithful, you start making decisions.
Right.
And when you're making decisions, you get armchair quarterbacks like you and me.
Yeah, who
have other ideas.
Yeah. And so Elizabeth in the book and in the Branagh movie to very uncomfortable degree, has a very strange relationship with Victor because she's from a slightly lower status family, and her parents die, and Victor's parents basically like take her on as a ward.
Yeah,
and
she becomes a sister wife type.
Wife, yeah, where she is like Victor's playmate and fiance, and they have this very weird incest-coded relationship where she's his, right? Like she's owed to him. And in this movie we give a lot more not exactly agency to Elizabeth, because she's still a prisoner of the class system, right? Where she's being given by her uncle to this man,
basically for an inn with the mad scientist.
Yeah, exactly. So she still doesn't have agency. She's like the butterfly in the thing, right?
Yeah.
That's a analogy or a metaphor for her. She's trapped in this system, but she has much more going on in her head than Book Elizabeth has, who is like just devoted to Victor and really doesn't ever push back against him. This Elizabeth is more, as a character, is much more interesting than Book Elizabeth.
I agree. It definitely is, and it's better, and she's more interesting than the Branagh version.
Yeah,
she is the superior Elizabeth,
right? But it is like narratively, like it's important thematically, but it's not nuts and bolts important for moving the story forward.
Yeah,
which is like, it's a complicated thing because the thematics. It's really about, are you more concerned with what does it mean, or with the like the nuts and bolts of the storytelling?
I think you need both.
Well, ideally you have both, but people prioritize one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, Del Toro is definitely a vibes guy.
Yes, totally. He's big time a vibes guy. Let's talk about the creature design.
I was just going to say that. Why don't we talk about this whack ass Frankenstein?
Boo! Why would you say that?
I just wanted to get your reaction. It's definitely not Wolfgang Doyle von Frankenstein, big stompy, bolts on the neck, or electrodes on the neck.
It's Japanese Buto dancing, like broken marble statue that's been pieced back together.
Yeah.
So you're not into it.
So it's not that I'm not into it. I just don't feel like it's very Frankenstein.
Really?
I feel like it's like a stitch. So, okay, let me back up. I feel like conceptually Frankenstein's monster is a stitched horror. That's the thing. This guy is a super soldier, a super weapon. He's not clumsy at all. He's faster, stronger, more rugged.
Yeah.
He is built, aside from being piebald, different colored patches, he's essentially perfect.
Yes.
I don't like that about him. I
Really?
don't like him perfect. I like him a little more monster, a little mismatched. Give me one arm slightly longer than the other. I don't know. I think that conceptually Frankenstein is a stitched horror. This guy's not really horrific at all. He's handsome.
So if you get to Shelley's description of him, she describes him as being beautiful. The thing that makes him not beautiful is like how the skin is like stretched so tight you can see the work. It doesn't hide the workings of the muscles underneath.
Yeah.
But I think it's she describes him as being having yellowed skin.
Yeah.
Which that's not really in the palette. They kind of stick to the blue greens, much more like the universal Frankenstein monster. But I think it's pretty close to her description, I think.
I think that so you can't be a purist in one way but in no other ways.
Yeah.
If the book is burned, the book is burned. If they're doing the Frankenstein mythology, the Frankenstein mythology is of a gnarlier Frankenstein. Like Del Toro says that he was more influenced by Hammer films.
Oh, the Christopher Lee
the
Frankenstein.
Lee Frankenstein than the Karloff Frankenstein, and he is fugly.
Yes, the Lee Frankenstein has the one big eye and like.
So like I just sort of in my mind I was just like, okay, so are we gonna get some Karloff? Are we gonna get some Lee? Like in the beginning he's shrouded, he's mysterious.
He's in the big coat. Like
I like that. And the long hair.
All the Bernie Wrightson illustrations and the Branagh movie have him in the big coat. So that's part of that iconography. And then he grows the long stringy hair. Mm-hmm. I love the look of this monster. Like it's not the Frankenstein monster that I draw. Like if you say draw me Frankenstein, it doesn't look like this.
There's no square topped head.
Yeah, I would give it the square head, but it is the way he is pieced together, the way the body looks, the colors that they use. Yeah, those are like all dead on the choices that my preferred choices. Okay, I prefer the pastel blue green color. That's my Frankenstein tattoo.
Yeah, pastel.
Is that color? So like the bald version of the creature, the one that we first see, his body to me like is perfect. Like Jacob Elordi, originally Andrew Garfield was supposed to play the creature. He's 5'10". Jacob Elordi is like 6'6".
I think he's 6'5", but 6'6" close enough. He's much bigger than Oscar Isaac.
And whereas like Garfield was going to be about the same size. I love Andrew Garfield. I think he's a great actor. He could not have the presence that Jacob Elordi has. Like when we see him when he's living in the cabin with the old man, and he does sort of like an ape hang down from the rafters, and drops to the floor, but his feet are like a foot from the floor when he's hanging from his arms. Like he's a long boy.
Yes,
like
definitely.
And his body and the way he moves it to me is sort of the perfect Frankenstein monster.
See, I would have rather gone with someone an actor that's a bit thicker than that.
Yeah,
because he's
beefier.
Yeah, he's mighty. He's like Frankenstein is like the guy who can like break a stone wall, right? Like in my mind. So, like. Maybe he doesn't have to be Alan Ritchson yoked. Yeah. But maybe...
You want a more jacked Frankenstein.
Well, just bigger. Just kind of like... not a fast, slim... like, this guy's fast and sleek. Like, this dude...
Like a panther.
This guy could do, like, Legolas moves.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I don't...
That's not how you
That's
see
not my mental image.
That's
like,
not,
my mental image is more like a juggernaut and less like a panther.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I love the way he looks as this creature. Like this is like as much as like I want to get him in the coat because the coat is part of the iconography and they do such a cool job on the coat, like the way, because he takes it off of a corpse.
Yes.
And it has the imprint of the man's spine in the back of the coat because it was like on a body as it decomposed, and that looks super cool, like awesome. I sort of like, as much as I'm like dying for him to be in the coat, I love him in the booty shorts and bandages look. Like I just can't, like the way he crawls around like Gollum down in his dungeon.
I actually that didn't land with me. The Gollum Frankenstein, not into that very much.
Oh geez. I like all that stuff so
much.
much.
I actually think that, it's hard to say this, but the De Niro Frankenstein looked more Frankenstein to me.
Yeah. Well, he's got a gnarlier face, right?
He's stitched up all over.
Like, he's got that like split in his lip.
It's not perfect.
Yeah, and he's got one leg longer than the other because De Niro has that whole thing about I need to know what his shoes are like to know the man. Yes, and so you're like, you give him one shoe with a lift and one that's shorter, and so that you walk off center, and then that informs his whole performance.
Yeah,
I like the De Niro Frankenstein too. I think all Frankensteins are beautiful.
Like AFAB, there we go.
I like the Christopher Lee Ugly Frankenstein as well. And I saw he's doing like the Buto movements, like
he's doing the booty movements.
The booty movements. In those shorts, he's doing the booty movements.
I guess it just comes down to, I don't want beautiful Frankenstein. Vampires are beautiful.
Yeah.
Werewolves are fierce and savage. Frankenstein is a hulking monster.
Yeah. Well, that is one of those things where you do sort of storytelling wise bump up against it, right? Because the hunters shoot at him and they're fully shook, right? They saw this thing. They're like, I don't know what it was. It wasn't a bear. It wasn't a man. If you saw that guy, you would think that's a man. That is a man who's had a lot of surgeries.
Yeah, or even like just like if you're in the woods and you're a little far distant or wherever you shoot, you're like, oh man, there was a dude over there. I saw a guy in a coat.
Yeah, there was. Well,
someone's like, but what was with his face? It was all patchy. Oh, probably just like the shadows through the leaves. I don't know. Or he was ugly.
Everyone's got it right now. It's going around.
Look like you, bro.
Yeah. No, you would think this is a guy who's grave robbing the soldiers, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? That's all you would not think.
Because he was.
He didn't know better because he's still a baby at that point. But you would just think it's a guy. And like this whole idea that he could not kind of ever find peace among people if you kind of put him in a nice outfit and a scarf that maybe covered up some stuff and gloves.
And if he's just like, I had a rare condition and I was able to find treatment in Zurich and now I am well, but I find myself to be quite horrific. Please excuse me, blah, blah, blah. People would be like, eventually, don't worry, Frank, we got you.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and it's, there's a war going on, right?
Yeah.
And they make a point about this, that, this war or the one before that or the one before that. At this period of time, you have the Napoleonic Wars that are a bit before this.
Love it.
The French Revolutionary War, the Crimean War, which is this time period. There's a lot of guys who've been blowed up and sewed together to the best of the ability. He's not even going to be the worst looking guy out there in the streets.
Yeah, I mean, if you have De Niro running around, this dude's a beauty queen.
All the Frankensteins. Yeah, he is certainly the handsomest Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, easily.
We can say that.
I think we can call him beautiful. I think that would be okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
he is beautiful,
especially with the long hair and the whole coat, the whole deal. He's like looks like a vampire lord.
Yeah, which is the thing. Like, when Victor's like, Elizabeth, like he's like, do I sense you're attracted to this thing? And
this huge, hulking, perfect man with a big package?
Yeah. The one in the little shorts that I keep chained up downstairs. That is so sweet, but I'm mean to him.
And I won't give him clothes no matter what.
Why do you have him chained to a dais down in your basement? It's just easier.
Yeah, I can hose him off.
It's right by the drain. And he doesn't...
And then, he doesn't know the difference. And I loved her line, but you do.
Yeah, you do. You know this is fucked up. You're the smartest man in the world. You know this is a fucked up thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, bad job, Victor. Bad job, Victor.
Bad dad.
So, yeah, interesting. We're on different sides. I think...
I don't hate it, but it's not my Frankenstein.
It is... I agree with that. It is not... if I'm drawing Frankenstein, it's a much more asymmetrical Frankenstein that kind of highlights the wrongness.
Honestly, you give that guy a couple of long teeth, he's a Nosferatu.
Oh, you think he's... Do you mean because he's a hunk?
Well, because he's a vampire, but he has rugged bad looks.
Oh. Give him a big mustache.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, man. Him and Orlok would be just like BFFs.
Gross. That's the twist of that Frankenstein versus Nosferatu, is that
actually it's a love story.
Yeah, they just dap each other up like Cyclops and Ryu in X-Men versus Street Fighter. They do a bro shake and they're on the same squad. They're like, we'll get the werewolf and the fishman from Shape of Water, and we're the Monster Squad, baby.
Yeah, Del Toro did the Hellboy things, and he definitely could do a Monster Squad with Universal monsters. It would be cooler than Hellboy.
Hellboy is cool. Hellboy's very
cool, but this would be cooler.
Cooler, yeah. I don't know. Hellboy's pretty cool. It's got Ron Perlman in it.
That's true.
We're moving on to audio.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, sound design by Paul German and music by Alexandre Desplat. Score is a banger. I've listened to it so many times. Probably, it doesn't quite knock the Sinner score off.
Okay.
But this is my second favorite score.
So have you listened to Pinocchio's score? Because she also did that one.
No, I've watched Pinocchio, but I haven't listened to it. Yeah, because I'm sure I should listen to that because
she's good.
He. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but it's he's a Frenchman.
This is she then? No, I'm just kidding.
But I put this on the other day, was sort of like, I'm going to give it a listen, one playthrough. And I listened to it all day. Like, wow. I just listened to it. It started over. I go, I'll let it play again.
See, I'm not really a movie score kind of guy. Like, there's a few movie scores that I'll put on, and they're iconic, like Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Conan.
Yeah, I fucking love that.
I mean, there's a few scores here and there. I'm interested in soundtracks like The Crow or Spawn or whatever.
Yeah, something that's got needle drops.
Yeah, but I did like the music in this movie. It was epic, it was tragic, and it was placed well.
Yeah, and you've got there's some waltzes in there, which feels very like period appropriate, like. and more playful. When we have the waltzes are always kind of like when Victor's catting around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when he's being a sexy man on town. We get these sort of like, or when he's stitching up the monster, it's a waltz too, like because he's in his element. Like when Victor is being a rock star, it's kind of like that, and there's like cool harpsichords and like.
So in our monsterverse version, we gotta have Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein, and when he's catting around, he needs to meet up with dapper, fancy Gary Oldman Dracula.
Ooh,
because they would just go so well together.
We're like, because Oscar Isaac has got that cool jaunty hat, and Gary Oldman has his top hat
and the sick round glasses.
And he's like, ooh, I like your spectacles. Do they come in red? Because that's kind of my thing. Look at my gloves. And Gary was like, red should be my thing, but I wear blue for some reason. But my armor was red back in the day.
Yeah, red was my thing. I've moved on. I've grown up.
Yeah, they would actually. And they obsess over women in a very similar.
They're both weird incels.
Yeah, they're both like, I'm brilliant and I've got everything going for me, but I would throw it all away for one particular woman that's only a little interested.
Yeah, a specific lady that's like with someone else.
Yeah, and Dracula would be like, same bro, same. That is all what I'm about. This shitty real estate lawyer came and he had this hot wife. I crossed oceans of time to be with her.
Yeah, he doesn't know it and she doesn't know it, but she's actually my wife from a long time ago.
Yeah, he's like, say no more. This woman looks exactly like my mom.
And I want her to be my wife. I don't know why.
Yeah, I want her to be my mother wife.
Not sister wife. That's wrong.
Yes. Ew. Yeah, and Dracula would be like, oh, everyone wants a mother wife.
I want 3 of them.
Yeah, he's like, I have 3 brides I left at the castle. They're sucking Keanu Reeves right now.
Yeah, this would be great. This would actually be, even if they didn't, of course they'll never make it. It would be amazing fanfic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Animation is the key because then you can have Gary Oldman and Oscar Isaac doing the voices. Mm-hmm. So animation is the key to this.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
It's the way to realize it.
Stop motion animation, so Del Toro will do it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I wasn't interested, but now I am very interested.
And we just tell him, well, if you're not interested, we're going to get Burton to do it. He goes, no.
He's like, stop. You had me at puppet.
And I don't think he'd let Burton have Frankenstein.
No,
he made Frankenweenie. Yeah, he already ruined it.
He's got the little dog. The dog is cute.
Yeah,
the dog is cute. The dog is part of the lore.
Not really.
Yeah,
I mean the meta lore in pop culture.
All of the Frankensteins.
Yeah, you have the bride.
The dog is
included.
The
dog.
Yeah, the dog would. The monster should adopt the dog. But yeah, Burton went Addams Family. He oddly ended up in the wrong family.
Yeah, he went the wrong way.
To have the Frankenweenie dog.
All right, so was there anything else in the sound? I mean, the sound design was great. I loved the creaking of the ship. I loved the Arctic wind and landscape. It was great.
Yeah, the splatter of blood, the grit of the saw.
The blunderbuss.
Oh, I love a good blunderbuss.
Yeah, and that's a 4-barrel blunderbuss.
Yeah.
It's totally like cap and powder design, which is era appropriate. I mean, the 4-barrel thing is fantasy, but the actual firing mechanism was legitimate.
Yeah, and that's all dope. And the way this is one of those movies, the score and the sound design play so well together. Desplat knows when to. He doesn't need to score all over it. You know what I mean? Like he knows when to pull back and let the sound take over, and then come back in with the music. There's even in the songs on the soundtrack, there's very quiet parts that probably the sound design of the movie will be playing through those segments.
Yeah, or there's dialogue or whatever.
And you're wanting to just let that stuff sit and stand on its own and speak for itself without having the music getting in the way. So yeah, one of my favorite scores of the year, easily.
It's pretty darn good.
So that brings us to our cast.
Barely mentionable.
Yeah. Just a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah. I mean, Oscar Isaac carries this movie on his back. He basically, like, I would say he single-handedly killed it, but there's so many other amazing performances. Yeah. It wasn't single-handed, but it was a masterful performance. Yeah. It might be my favorite Oscar Isaac performance.
Oof.
He's so good, but he's great.
There is, and I'm not going too out on a limb here. There are no bad Oscar Isaac performances.
No.
He's unimpeachable as a performer, regardless of whatever he's in. He's always great.
Yeah.
And his Victor Frankenstein visually, it's the Bernie Wrightson illustrations of Victor Frankenstein. Yeah. He has the hair and the clothes and everything. But he has the mania of Colin Clive. He's got the malevolence of Peter Cushing.
Oh, yeah.
And the sexiness of Kenneth Branagh. He's like all of the Dr. Frankenstein.
No one's ever said that in the entire world. The sexiness of Kenneth Branagh.
Oh, lots of people have said it. Kenneth Branagh is very sexy.
He said it himself a lot in the mirror.
He's like, you know what? Should I have my shirt off and be slathered in KY jelly in this scene? I think I should.
Maybe every scene.
I think it'd be just shinier and you'd see my muscles. And why not? Let's cover everything in KY. And just get slipping
the whole
around.
Movie.
Yeah, Helena Bonham Carter, get out here. We're greasing everything up. Yeah. So he is like the ultimate Victor Frankenstein. He's all of the iconic Victor Frankensteins. And at the same time, it's not like he is, right now I'm doing Peter Cushing and right now I'm doing Colin Clive. He is absolutely Oscar Isaac's version of Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah, I was watching an interview, and it was just him, and not one of the Combo Del Toro interviews. And he was talking about how he was referencing a conversation that he had with Del Toro about how he wanted this version of Victor to have like rock star energy, like Mick Jagger energy. And so he was studying Mick Jagger and stuff. And then they gave him like some test costume, and the guy had like little boots on.
High-heeled boots, yeah.
And he's like, oh no, I'm not just Mick Jagger, I'm Prince.
Yeah.
And so he started channeling all of those vibes, and he really gets it. And when he's in his manic moments, you can see that body language because he's such an excellent physical actor.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. This is probably my favorite Oscar Isaac performance and probably my favorite Victor Frankenstein.
Yes. Certainly the second one.
What was he better in?
I mean, he is not better in Dune because he is not the star of Dune, right?
Yeah.
But Leto Atreides is iconic.
That was a 5-star movie with a 5-star performance. So you're right. You're right. It was hard to argue, but it's a smaller part.
But that is a supporting role because that's Timmy's movie. And
Oh, he could have been an amazing Stilgar, but Javier, he's got that.
He's also, yeah. Or, young Oscar Isaac could have been Lisa Nagaib.
This is true.
He could do anything. He's
everywhere, and we all still love him.
Yeah, he's not quite Pedro level everywhere.
No, that's true.
But it's
everybody loves these Latino stars nowadays. It's a renaissance.
Why not? They're great. They're great.
Good is good. It's like music. The genre isn't important. The product is important.
Yeah, and like these guys who are incredible on screen and then also seem absolutely wonderful and charming when you see them off screen, and they're sweet with each other like they're bestest buds, and they don't seem to have any of the sort of
like
toxic
rivalry nonsense.
Yeah,
they're just good dudes.
Just more of this. Oscar Isaac kills it as Baron Frankenstein. Yeah, absolutely iconic.
Probably the best performance in the movie, and it's just excellent.
Well, and just like it's also funny. Like the stuff where he's like hiding in the confessional, and
that was a great interaction.
And thinks Elizabeth is lusting after him, and he's kind of like, "Ooh, I'm going to get something juicy," and she's like, "I have contempt, hatred for him," and he's like, "What?" Yeah, like he plays that so good. The scene with Christoph Waltz when he's like, he springs it on him real quick. Can you put my brain in the monster? I know the lightning's striking right now, and there's no time for brain surgery, but do it. And he's like, no, like this, like that's the most insane thing you could have said.
I would have done it.
You would have done it? Well, I mean, I would have like, okay, let's get you on the table.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
And you pull the brain out and then chuck it into the chute with all the other body parts and be like,
whoopsie,
didn't take.
Yeah, because everything is corrupted. All his organs, everything's corrupted.
At least then they wouldn't have broken the lightning rod. You know? So just tell him you're going to do it.
He's got to be smart about it.
Christian Convery was the young Victor, who's also a solid performance. Good kid performance.
Yeah, it was good.
That's not a cringy kid performance.
No, it was realistic.
Yeah.
He was very emo, sorry.
Yeah. Also, we haven't mentioned it yet. We have to mention Mama's boy Victor always drinking milk.
Yeah, it's like funny.
People are like always bringing him milk, pouring it like it's wine, you know, and like he's got an ice box in his apartment filled with milk. It's like he's a milksop. He's into drinking milk.
Yeah, as an adult should have converted to White Russians.
Like the dude.
Like the dude.
Yeah. Well, if he had survived, maybe he could have had a leisurely dude phase. Next, I got Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, I think you have to as the creature.
Incredible.
He's pretty darn good. Yeah. I mean, the physical performance alone is amazing.
Yeah, and just
before he gets verbal,
the makeup, the booty shorts makeup is a 10-hour. Yeah, and then, you know, obviously with the coat and everything, it's less, but it's still probably a 5 or 6, or if not longer, sit.
Well, you don't get acting credits for how long you sat. His performance was badass in every outfit.
Yes, it is. And it's tender because he goes from like childlike wonder and sweetness and to malevolence, like when Victor, he gets the stick of dynamite from Victor, right? And he's like, "You think this will unmake me?" And he's like, "Light it and hope you're right." and he lights the dynamite, and he pulls the mask down, and it's one of his only times he smiles in the movie, and he says, "Now run," and it's such like a vicious smile, like it's so intimidating.
I looked at the other stuff that Jacob Elordi has been in, and he's been in lots of other movies and things, but not really like in a action horror role, or you know. And I think he did a really good antagonist here. Yeah,
he's one of these like new young guys, you know, with Timmy and a few others. Austin Butler, you know, these guys are really going to be around for decades making movies.
Absolutely. I was really impressed with the performance. It didn't like blow me away like Oscar Isaac's performance, but it was very good.
Yeah. It's like heartbreaking. Like the stuff when he's watching the family through the walls in the cabin. He's hiding in the mill gears, and like he's patting himself on the head when the old man is patting the little girl.
That's good.
And it some of those shots are just exactly Bernie Wrightson's illustrations. Like they're framed the same way, and they look so similar. He really takes you through all of the human emotions, and the monster. Well, it's just like William says to Victor, "You're the monster." Yeah, the monster is the most human character in the story.
Yeah, I really like how Jacob Elordi was really a student of the body language of all the Frankensteins, and he really kind of made his own, but there are moments where he feels like the other ones.
Oh yeah, like when he opens the door to the cabin because the old man sort of connives to have some alone time with the spirit of the forest. And he walks in and he does the Karloff through the threshold sort of like come in and spin around thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
perfect.
Good.
But then the other times he made me think of Christopher Lee's Monster or De Niro's, like he did. But then the sort of the Budo dance stuff where he's like he's down low and then extends his body up and cracks his neck.
Yeah,
that's completely original to him. I can't recall ever seeing that before.
Yeah, it's really good. Like his mannerisms, the physical acting is really excellent.
Yeah, and
I think that he made this his own version of Frankenstein while homaging the other ones in performance.
Yeah. Del Toro said, because he was asking, like, what should I look at? Like, what sort of things do you want me to watch to inform my performance? And he says, nothing. If you watch anything, watch your dog. He's like, because your dog is just in the moment right now. And that's what you need to be. And
that's such an artist's response.
Yeah. And there is something puppy-like about him. Like when he's with the deer eating berries in the forest, he's very much like one of the other woodland animals.
Yeah, he's really good.
Who do you got next?
Mia Goth as Claire Frankenstein and Elizabeth Harlander.
I liked it
darn
a lot.
Good.
Yeah, I haven't watched her other movies like Maxine and stuff. She's got quite a horror movie filmography building up, but I'm not super familiar with it.
Yeah, I don't know her work very well, but I looked her up, and she has a respectable resume, and she well thought of, and I thought this performance was quite good. I actually thought the Claire Frankenstein performance was the better of the two characters.
Yeah, and so distinct. Like,
oh yeah, They're very different.
I did not realize it was her in both of them because she looks so different. Like the hair is different.
Yeah, they change her hair, they change her makeup, even her posture changes. Like when she's Claire Frankenstein, she's way more like kind of upright and proper and prim and I guess like proper.
Yeah.
And then when she's Elizabeth, she's a bit more kind of a rascal.
Yeah,
like she's less careful about the way she always like looks all the time. She's not trying to be proper.
A liberated woman, as much as that is at all possible in the mid 1800s.
Yeah, she was liberated in her mind, if not in reality.
Yeah, if not, they're both very much butterflies in cages, like pretty things that are held captive by rich men, essentially.
Yeah, and I thought she did a pretty darn good job. No complaints there. I doubt she'll get a nomination for an award for this performance, but I think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
If Oscar Isaac doesn't get a nomination, there's a crime.
As best lead, and he's the lead because he's top billed.
Yeah.
The movie's his name.
He is the titular character.
I would not be surprised at all if the three of them
get supporting nominations and all that.
And I wouldn't surprise me if Christoph Waltz got Best Supporting Actor nomination.
Yeah, he's always good.
Even though that's a small part, which I guess, since I mentioned it, let's jump to him. Christoph Waltz, totally different version of this character than any other version of the story. It is a superfluous character, but it is a great performance.
Yeah, he's like this sinister corporatist arms merchant who's got these secret, selfish motives, and he's like salesman slimy.
Yes,
and he interests Victor, and then as soon as he thinks he has the hook, he kind of like turns things and forces Victor. Like once he gets a little bit of leverage, he kind of forces the issue every time. He's definitely a slippery slope kind of a guy.
Yeah.
And he pulls that corporatist, greedy bastard thing perfectly.
Well, yeah, and there's this great scene with him and Victor when he's like, I think he says like, "Are we in business?" And they shake hands, and he goes, "A bargain has been struck," and it's like, oh. Mm-hmm. He's the devil and you're Faust.
Yeah.
And now he has you on the hook because you need his money to do this stuff.
Yep. The devil and money, it all goes together.
Yeah. So this whole cast, everyone in this cast is incredible. So as always, just great performance from Christoph Waltz.
But that's the core cast. Yeah. There are other great little performances like Felix Kammerer as William Frankenstein, the little brother, who does a great job.
I love Felix's performance as William. Like, there's little things like at the wedding night where he hops up onto Victor's bed and sort of like scooches over to him with a couple of bounces. And we saw them as children sharing a bed, right?
Yeah,
they shared a nursery with each other, and it felt real. Like that felt like two brothers having an intimate moment in a very like. That's just a sort of like, it doesn't even seem like direction. It just seems like how these two guys have embodied this relationship with each other.
I agree. I think that was really intuitive acting.
Yeah.
He just sort of, he presumed the closeness and brotherly affection that should exist. And of course, Oscar Isaac is a master of his craft, and he just instantly plays into it.
Yeah.
And then they have the relationship.
Yeah. And they have this very, like, there is tenderness between them and real affection and love, but also Victor resents William because he got the affection from the father that Victor never got.
Yeah.
And William is afraid of Victor because he's scary and a little crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely crazy.
Yeah. And so, like, but they love each other, and that always comes through. And, like, but then, they do both have designs on the same woman, and that complicates thing. And William is no dummy. Like, William sees it and shows it on his face, but never accuses Victor until he's dying, when he calls Victor a monster. So yeah, like, it's a small role, but just like a very, very good, very nuanced performance.
Yeah. And when I saw Charles Dance as Baron, I was just like, that's a great casting, because that dude is amazing in everything he does.
Yeah, and this has been all this year. I feel like I've talked about multiple episodes playing to type and playing against type.
Yeah,
Charles Dance. You say Charles Dance is the father. You know exactly who that is. It's Tyrion, or not Tyrion. It's Tywin Lannister.
It's the elder in Dracula Untold.
Yes. So he's Dracula's daddy.
He's the sire.
Yeah. So like, worst dad imaginable.
Oh, yeah. It's like, hold on, let's find the worst Hollywood dad in the world.
Yeah.
Charles Dance.
Yeah.
He's the one.
We need a Gothic Horror abusive father. And, like... And it's so fucked up because you get he doesn't really see his wife as anything other than a baby vessel.
Yeah, she's a broodmare.
But he sees his sons as his legacy, and like Victor is the smart, like, is the one that's going to succeed him as a physician. And like the scenes where he's tutoring him, and like Victor holds out his hand to get whapped, and he's like, no. These are your instruments of your craft, and we need to protect them. And he's very tender as he folds his hands up to his chest and is like, your hands are precious. Your face, that's vanity.
Yeah, that's vanity.
Whack! And like cracks him in the face. And it's like, so, like, to go from tenderness to abuse like that, And then we see Victor do the same thing with the monster, right?
Yeah, my favorite part of that little scene where he he does the whole tender moment, and then he's got the switch in his hands, and then he whaps him right in the face, and then he does a no-look handoff of the switch to his manservant.
Yeah.
And it's just so casually nonchalant, like where's my manservant will get this, because as I release it from my hand, it will not hit the floor.
Yeah, and we see him, like, there's some great long shot when the mother goes into kind of premature labor and there's a problem, and he was on his way out the door, and Victor calls him back, and he's got, like, his whole, like, entourage, this trail of guys that follow him everywhere. All of them sweep back up the stairs. Like, he just has guys circling around him.
If the Baron goes, we go.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're just here. Like, I hand him the child beating stick. I hand him his milk, because we're real into milk in this family. Like, all that stuff.
Yeah, that was a really good performance.
Yeah. Charles Dance, always great.
I don't have anyone else on my list.
David Bradley as the old man, the old blind man.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And whoever played the ship captain, that was great too.
Yeah, Lars Mikkelsen. Both of them essential parts of the story.
They're important. They're wise.
And David Bradley, this is a Gintz type, because he's always a villain. You know what I mean? Like, he's the mean groundskeeper in the Harry Potters. He's Walder Frey in the Game of Thrones stories. He's always a shitbag. So to have him as the sweet old man, that's a subversion of your expectations.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't realize that was Walder Frey.
Yeah, and kills it. Like,
he's really good.
He's such a good old man, and he doesn't even have a bad attitude when he's had his guts pulled out by wolves.
Yeah, he kind of has well, it happens like that sometimes.
That's how it is in the woods. You live in the woods, you get eaten by wolves.
He's like, I had a good run. I avoided these wolves for a long time.
Yeah, he's like, I've reached the ripe old age of 51. Yeah, which is ancient in woodsman time. Yeah, I think that's all. Those are all the people that I feel the need to mention. Personal highlight.
I was really searching for a specific scene, but so I ended up settling on the practical effects are my favorite thing.
Okay. And
the example favorite practical effect probably is when he's on trial with the physicians. He has the one-armed, somewhat crucified, brain exposed thing, and he has it catch the ball and then release the ball. That is a puppet with 3 puppeteers.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And that's why the wolves look so bad, because that was real and it looked like science fiction.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah. And so I loved the practical effects and the makeup. Even though this Frankenstein to me looked more like a vampire than a stitched horror, he looked really good, and the makeup was good. The prosthetics were good. I thought this movie killed it when it came to practical effects.
We didn't, we haven't mentioned yet. He has one contact lens in that gives the retinal kickback, the Blade Runner eye, I call it. Oh, wow. Yeah. And anytime I notice retinal kickback, because that's how Ridley Scott would let you know someone was a replicant, I always kind of like jump on it. And that's Blade Runner is such a Frankenstein movie. Yeah. So that when his eye would kick back, I was like, oh, replicant. He's got the Blade Runner.
So what about you? What's your personal highlight?
Similar. Mine is the creation sequence.
Oh, yeah, it's really
with
good.
The lightning storm. I mean, it's a long sequence, and you have Christoph Waltz insert himself and die spectacularly in that and splatter his brains all over the floor. But the Victor climbing up the tower to set the lightning rod, cranking the monster up, the batteries kind of coming to life, the monster in the crucifixion pose, and then Victor does the young Frankenstein like angry pounding on the chest.
Yeah,
like he even gets a little Gene Wilder in there at that part of it, and then goes to bed exhausted, and the creature comes and wakes him up in the morning, and they have such a sweet moment. Like,
yeah, it's a crazy scene. I love it.
Yeah, and like where they're kind of doing peekaboo around the bedpost, and Victor takes off his hands so they can like touch hands, and then they do like the sun salutation yoga pose together, and like just that whole. And this is a long thing to make your personal highlight, but that whole sequence I just think is so beautiful, and. Even though Victor has to be the bad dad, those moments, the early moments when he's tender with the monster, I really appreciate those too, because there's a reason why the monster loves him so much, and something that is taken away as he loses interest in it.
Yeah, he's bonded with him.
Yeah, like a little baby duck. So that whole sequence is my personal highlight. What worked for you?
The overall Gothic design and vibes of this movie. The cinematography was really good at creating Gothic atmosphere. Yeah. The elaborate sets, especially the amazing laboratories. Yes. The one pre-tower. And
Victor's apartment rocks too. Even
so
if it is
good.
like
that reminded me of the Bronx lab. That was really great there. I loved that. That was so good. Then I did like this reimagining of the creature. He was very emotional. He was very kind of tragic humanity. And, I mean, he always was, even in the first movie, but this is even more. Yeah. That like he's yearning for validation, and then for a companion, and then for something he doesn't know. Vengeance, forgiveness. I feel like the humanity of the creature was really cool. And then lastly, Oscar Isaac's probably award-worthy performance was the strongest in the movie. We already went on and on about his characterization and the real depth of the performance. Yeah. So what about you? What worked for you?
Since you said that, I'm going to start out Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi's performances.
Pretty good.
They are the synthesis of the most iconic versions of the characters. They're like the culmination of the myth up until this point. And just this will be what people picture for these characters for a very long time. Number two, the impeccable design and aesthetic of the film. All the creative departments are so in tune and in concert with each other. Production design, costume design, makeup design, cinematography, music, and sound, all working together, and everyone lifting each other up, right? Yeah. Like they're not, no one's fighting for the spotlight. They're all helping each other and assisting each other in the storytelling, and it's just immaculate looking. And then this is sort of a reiteration of what I just said, but it's the distillation of the myth. It's not the perfect adaptation of the book, but it is the sum of the most iconic versions of the story filtered through GDT's personal vision. Wow. Like it's also like it's all of the versions that have come before and his biography laced through it at the same time. Okay. And so I just think that's really remarkable when something is so iconic but also so personal like that. What didn't work for you?
So piggybacking off what you just said, the unnecessary changing and synthesis of everything all into one with massive creative liberties and making a iconic, almost mythological property of tremendous Western cultural significance for 200 years now, making this your own personal telenovela, no matter how good it is ultimately egotistical. And I feel like it was not a service to Frankenstein as a cultural hallmark and myth to make it your own thing without respect for its sovereignty as a piece of cultural fiction and its iconic status. He basically drew a mustache on the Statue of Liberty because he thought it looked better that way. That's how I feel about his changes. And then also, it's 2.5 hours. It's like, Jesus, it's like 10 gallons of shit when in a 5-gallon hat. Like, so much stuff should have been cut. So much garbage should have been cut. There were so many useless scenes. I was watching it. Useless scene. Okay, next scene. That was not useless. That one actually furthered the plot. Next. Useless scene. Cut. Like, I was literally cutting it as I was watching it because there were so many pointless scenes. Almost the entire childhood, you could have made that a sizzle reel. 4 minutes,
like a montage.
You seriously, like, I cared more about V and Jackie in Cyberpunk 2077 in their relationship based on their sizzle reel montage than I cared about Victor and his brother and his mom. It was too long. It was boring as shit. It was just ponderously slow. The first third of this movie, trash. Boring. Utterly boring. Like, literally, I would have fast forwarded it if I wasn't doing a podcast on it. It was that boring. Also, it's not Frankenstein's monster. This is Frankenstein's emo bro. And I know I said the humanity and the tragicness of the creature was a highlight to me, but it's also a low light because that goes into my massive changes. It's like, this wasn't a monster. This was a guy. Seriously, he was just a guy. He was a guy with a shitty dad, like all of us with shitty dads. He wasn't like, come on, give me monster. Do more monster things.
He is not. There's no he kills people in the book that are, it's unwarranted, right?
Yeah, when
he kills William in the book, William's a 5-year-old boy, and it is just to hurt Victor that he does it.
Yeah, this monster is just, he only kills in self-defense. He only attacks when he's already attacked. They removed the morally gray nature of the monster by having him be both victim and monster. In this case, he's just victim. He's never the monster. He's not the bad guy. He's just Victor's problem, and he defends himself every time.
When
he's like a hero in this movie.
He is totally a hero in this movie. When he kills William, it is in self-defense essentially, and when he kills the soldiers, or the sailors, excuse me, pretty brutally, they're also attacking him. He never attacks anyone that doesn't attack him first. I don't think.
And there's no monstrousness to that. So what about you? What didn't work for you?
This is one of these ones where I'm going to say something very similar in a much softer way.
Okay.
The structure of the book makes for an oddly paced film. It's very front heavy, and then it slows way down. So, like, it starts out, by the time the monster is telling his story, which you feel like should be at the middle, right? Like, so the first half is Victor's and the second half is the creature's. It's actually 2/3 of the way through the movie when the monster starts his version of the tale, which feels much too late.
Yeah, it's too little too late.
So the monster end of the story feels like it's given short shrift because Victor got 2 chapters, essentially, because he got Baby Victor and he got Hero Victor chapters. And then the Monsters chapter is the final third of the movie. And even though this is a 2.5 hour movie, when you get to the after the wedding night and you leave the cave and the monster's like, hunt me, like, and pursue me to the ends of the earth, you have this sense that there is going to be more that's happening, and then that's when we kind of cut back to where we started. And you know, it feels like, I mean, this is sort of what you're saying, that it's so front loaded with backstory for Victor that there is not time for the monster story in the end, and that seems like it gets given short shrift there. And then, you know, we talk. This is not a big thing, but the wolves did take me out. Like, they just did not look real, and they shot real wolves, and you use the real wolves that you shot. Don't use the cartoon wolves.
Yeah, those were not good.
Yeah, but mainly it's the unbalanced nature of the storytelling. The movie is so front loaded with Victor stuff that there's not time for the monster stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Final thoughts and ratings.
It's a 4-star movie.
Okay, you're at a 4.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the intensity of your criticisms, 4 is still very good.
The strengths were very strong.
Yeah.
The weaknesses were weak, but not enough to knock it down to a 3.
Yeah. I think I'm going 5.
Sure.
And not because, like, probably on my personal Letterboxd, I'd say 4.5. Because I think it is something greater than a 4, but not quite at that. Like, this is like a soft 5. It's not it's perfection. Like, I'm not saying that, but it is something. It's like the monster. It's a flawed masterpiece. It's a masterpiece that you see the seams in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's. Yeah, so the world kind of agrees with a 4-ish. It's IMDb is a 7.7, Rotten Tomatoes 85%, and Letterboxd is 3.9. So it's a great movie. It's probably the best Frankenstein movie.
Yeah.
If it had not been 2.5 hours and they had cut the cartoon wolves and the made the monster do the monster things.
Yeah.
Like murder some people.
Yeah, he honestly, like, he murders the one woodsman, rips his jaw off.
Yeah, but those guys shot him.
That guy shot him. It's true. He never hurt.
They like shot him more than once.
And he ran away, and they kept shooting him.
And they followed him and kept shooting him. Like, that was very self-defense.
Yeah. You're right. He never kills anyone unjustly
And that's what makes him such a tragic but condemnable figure in the original movies and the book.
Yeah. It's that he harms people.
I mean,
that don't
Del Toro loves the monster so much, he couldn't make him a bad guy. He had to make him a good guy.
Well, because he's Monster Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he has to be sort of perfect. If you're going to be the monster messiah. Yeah.
I get it.
That boy loves monsters. I'm sure that's what his abuelita would say. Garbolito loves monsters. You know?
I'm sure.
It was said many times.
All right, we'll roll the music. We'll come back to the Vault of Darkness.
Before we delve into the Vault of Darkness, we ask that all initiates of the cult follow us on your favorite social media platforms at Nightshade Cult.
If you've enjoyed this content, help us grow the cult by sharing it with like-minded people and leave us a review wherever you listen.
Do you have any dark tidings before we get into the Vault of Darkness?
No, not really.
All right, let's roll our dice.
All right, roll for initiative. 8.
I got 3. You go first.
Dang, I thought an 8 was no good. So I finished a really, really short audiobook, so I just figured I'd give it a shout out before I do my real one that I started. I'm not even through it. This is an honorable mention.
Okay, this is honorable mention. Because
it's not really that applicable to this.
Okay.
But I finally read or listened to Shane, the classic Western that they made the movie out of.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. So if you want to, it's a 4-hour audiobook.
Okay.
It's basically a perfect Western. It's just that simple and that quick and that good. Anyway, what I started after Shane is the reason I started it and the reason I'm recommending it is because it is another Guillermo del Toro flick.
Oh,
it is a audiobook. He co-wrote it with Chuck Hogan. It is called The Strain.
Isn't that Stephen King?
I mean, they shared the name there, but this is a vampire. It's like a future. It's like a technology, like high tech vampire epic is what it was advertised, and then part Andromeda Strain, part Night of the Living Dead.
Huh. Okay.
And another reviewer was, like from a newspaper. Chuck Hogan is known for his taut thrillers. Guillermo del Toro is known for his surreal horror films. The Strain brings out the best of each. So I'm only, 2 hours into it, and it's already awesome.
The Strand is the Stephen King thing I was thinking about. Okay. The Strain.
The Strain, and here's the other reason why you go with audiobook, not book on this one.
Yeah.
Narrated by Ron Perlman.
Ooh, perfect.
So this is really good. And so if you like Del Toro's like imagination, surreal nonsense, and you want a guy like the actual prose writer, the guy who's clicking the keys, Chuck Hogan, this guy keeps it tight. Like, he's not fucking around. He knows his craft. This guy's a great writer. And I haven't read his other books. I'm just listening along and I'm like, wow, every sentence has meaning. This guy thought about every one of these sentences and he crafted this. It's well done. So, I just highly recommend you check it out. I'll let you know when I finish it how I feel about it. But right now, I'm loving it.
Okay, cool.
So what are you pulling out of the vault?
I'm pulling out. I've mentioned it a couple times in this episode, but one of the key influence of this movie is Bernie Wrightson's illustrations of Frankenstein.
Oh, okay.
And Bernie Wrightson, before he passed away, did a sequel graphic novel to Frankenstein, along with writer Steve Niles, who wrote the comic book 30 Days of Night about the vampires in Alaska. And so it takes place after the conclusion of Shelley's novel, after the monster attempts to kill himself on the pyre and doesn't. It's because he's functionally immortal.
Yeah.
And it's the monster essentially like doing what he is tasked with doing at the end of this film, which is to go like to find a life when your whole life has been consumed with vengeance against your creator. The creator is gone, and now it's many years later. Go out and live. Find a way to live. And this was the final project that Bernie Wrightson worked on. He passed away before completing it. And so it was finished by his friend and sort of mentee Kelly Jones, who is also a great Gothic horror comic book artist. And works in a very similar style to Wrightson. And he is, because he's finishing Wrightson's final work, he's always a very Wrightson influenced artist, but he's even more so in this case. But it still looks like Kelly Jones, like if you're familiar with his work, and it's just beautiful, and it feels like a sort of sequel to this movie. You know, we sort of joke about this being a franchise to be continued. It certainly is something that they could explore these future stories with the creature in another movie.
This is all public domain. You can do whatever you want with Frankenstein.
Yeah. And
oh man, I just looked up, sorry to interrupt, I just looked up Kelly Jones and his Batman with the huge ears on the crouching on the pile of skulls. This guy's dope.
I love Kelly Jones Batman, both the Elseworld stuff, Red Rain with the vampire Batman, But just like there was a period of time in the 90s when he was the main artist on the Batman comic.
Okay.
And that shit slept on. Those are Kelly Jones' Batman run is superb. So good.
This guy's good.
Yeah, he's good. And Wrightson, you probably saw recently, like Del Toro was auctioning off some of his pieces, some of his collection, because the LA wildfires have been stressing him out. Basically, like he's starting to feel like he has too much of this stuff accumulated in one place.
Yeah.
And so if a big fire came through, all of it's gone because he has acquired so much of it that it's become a risk, and he wants to sort of
spread it out in the world.
Yeah, so that other people are also protecting it. And like one of the things that he's been auctioning off is several of Wrightson's original pieces. And whenever I see him talking about the Wrightsons, like the illustrations, he talks about them like the Dead Sea Scrolls. You know what I mean? Like they're these sacred artifacts. And so I thought this graphic novel, being his last work and being a Frankenstein sequel, it's the natural next thing after this movie to go and get this graphic novel. And it's very in print and available as a very reasonable trade paperback collection. But you could probably, your local bookstore or
friendly local gaming store.
Yeah, or your public library probably has a used copy or a copy you can borrow.
Yeah.
And it's totally, if you watch this movie and there's something else you want, Frankenstein Alive by Steve Niles and Bernie Wrightson with Kelly Jones. And then I put the link in the show notes. I saw Predator Badlands today.
Oh, how's that?
Super fun movie.
Okay.
It's a Tarzan movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a Tarzan movie with a space monster in it instead of an ape man.
Okay.
But super fun, really good movie.
Nice.
But yeah, I won't spend too much time on that. But it's totally worth seeing.
All right, sounds great. We'd like to thank you for joining the Nightshade Cult.
Until we meet again, we're wishing you unpleasant dreams.